Hey, welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as my friends over at Joann.com. This is week number 1 of our stitch along. We're going to get started this week to be able to really kind of put the pieces together and the foundation of our particular blanket together. We're going to work on a basic granny square for this week. You're going to crochet the amount that you need and then join me next week as we continue our stitch along together. So let's get started. This is the stitch along, and you can see on page number 1 that there's 3 versions, 1, 2, and 3, and they have the contrasting, which is the colors A, B, C, and D. If you decide to change the order of any of that or even substitute colors, you will change the yarn ball quantities. You will notice that the blanket is approximately 45 inches by 55 inches and it's made up of 63 granny squares. So today we're going to do 22 of this style here. Now just because it's all in the blue and it's saying to do all one color, you can change out your colors if you want. Again, if you change colors it will change the yarn ball quantity, so just be very cautious of that. So on page number 2 is the instructions. So on page number 2 is the set of instructions. You'll see that there is 5 rounds in order to make this. So it's using A, the first color, and you're gonna make 22 of these. So there's 5 rounds that you see. So what we have here is a stitching key diagram to show you what exactly is happening in this. So what we have here is that you'll notice that the slip stitching is coming up here. Let's talk about that and zoom in on that. So what we're going to do is that we're going to start ourselves in chain 2 and then we're going to work our way in the second chain from the hook and we're going to put in 8 of these single crochets and then we're going to slip stitch. We're then going to chain out 3 and then put a double crochet in the same one, and then each one of these single crochets is going to have 2. So you want to keep an eye on your numbers. So you have 8 and then you'll have 16 and then we then convert into a corner section just like you see, and then we get bigger. So really there really is no hard part to this. The place that you want to keep an eye on the most is number 3 to make sure that you are doing your corners just right. You'll notice that the corners are over 2 different stitches, not just 1, so you want to keep an eye on that, and other than that it's really not a hard one at all. So without further ado, let's grab your 5mm size H crochet hook, grab your yarn color of choice, and let's begin. So let's begin. We're gonna create a slip knot in our hand and we are going to insert our hook in. So it's only 5 rounds that we need to do today, so you'll find that it will go pretty quickly per square and you need a total of 22 of them. So you need to chain 2. So 1 and 2. Now insert into the beginning chain, so second chain from the hook, which is this first one, and I want you to single crochet a total of 8 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Noticing that I'm going up over top of the straggler so it keeps underneath. So I'm at 4 so far. So 5, 6, 7, and 8. So to verify that you have 8, just count back from behind the hook. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the 8th one is where you want to stick your crochet hook to form the circle. So stick it right in and then pull through and through, and that completes off round number 1. Let's move along to round number 2. So let's move along to round number 2. You're going to chain 3, which counts as a double crochet, and in the same one that you did the join I want you to double crochet. So that'll be a total of 2 coming out of the same stitch. So each one of these stitches there's a total of 8 altogether. So this is one of them. So this is another one. So there's gonna be 2 double crochets in each stitch going all the way around. So there will be 8 groups of 2 and a total of 16 double crochets by the time you come around. Please do that all the way around for round number 2. So I'm in my last stitch. So there's 8 groups of 2. Now when you're new to crochet you always accidentally think that the next one here is a stitch that's not. See how it's leaning into this one? That's part of that. So don't go into that one because then I'll give you the wrong count. So you can see that there's 8 groups of 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So once you have that done, just slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3 and pull through and through, and then that closes off that circle. Let's move along now to round number 3. Let's begin round number 3. We're gonna start off in the corner, so we're gonna chain a total of 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that is your first treble. That counts as a treble. So I want you to treble into the same one again. So to treble you wrap the hook twice and then go into the exact same stitch for that one and insert in, pull through 2, 2, and 2 back to the top. So the next 2 in a row will be one double crochet. It's just one and then the next one. So now we're gonna start our first full corner. So this is a half a corner that we'll finish when we get back around. So the next one is gonna be 2 trebles into the same stitch. Okay. And when you get that done, you need to chain 2 so that you can physically turn 1 and 2 and go to your very next stitch and put 2 trebles in. So the corners are made up of 2 stitches, not just everything going into 1 for this particular round. So the repeat pattern for this one for round number 3 is that there's gonna be 2 double crochets in a row, and then you are going to start another corner. So the first side of it will be 2 trebles into the first stitch. And do you remember what to do to turn? You're gonna chain 2 and then jump to your next stitch and finish off your corner. So I want you to repeat what you just learned all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of this round and we'll complete this one off. This is round number 3. So I'm coming up all the way around and I'm just on my last side. Okay, so I finished off my corner and I'm on my last side. So there's 2 double crochets in a row, and the very last stitch is the other half of this first corner that we started with. So there's gonna be 2 trebles there. So 1 and 2 into the same one, and then you're going to chain 2 and slip stitch it to the top of the first chain 4 to finish round number 3 off. Just like that. So you'll notice that it's gonna kind of buckle a little bit. Don't worry about it. It will kind of settle down as it gets bigger. Let's move along now to round number 4. So round number 4 we're going to begin and you're gonna chain 3, and there's gonna be 1 double crochet in each of these stitches then going to the corner. So the next one is right here. So we start in your next stitch. Okay, so you see how this chain 3 equaled this stitch here, and you want to just put in 1 double crochet in each except for the corners. You're gonna do the same thing in each of your corners, and I'll be there in just a moment. It's gonna be in the corner, 2 double crochet, 1 and 2, followed by a chain 2 to turn the corner, and then in the same space I want you to put in 2 more double crochet. Okay, so it's just 1 double crochet in each, and then in the corners 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Please do that all the way around for round number 4, and meet me back here and I'll finish it off with you. So when you get all the way around, you have your final corner to go into. It hasn't been started yet, so you gotta do the whole thing. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into the same one, and once you get that complete, you're done. So you're just gonna slip stitch then to the top of the first chain 3 and finish off round number 4. So let's begin round number 5, the final one, and then that's it for the squares, and you've got to make 22 of these. So you're gonna chain up 3 to begin, and then just 1 double crochet in each of the double crochets that go around, and in the corners again you already know what to do. It's 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So essentially you're just doing what you already know that you did in round number 4. So just do that all the way around, 1 double crochet in each, and in the corners 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and I'll see you at the end of this round. So I'm coming up to the end of round number 5, and I have to turn a corner completely because I started partially the way in. So I gotta do the corner. So it's 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet into that same corner. And then you need to finish off the other 2 stitches that are sitting there. Do you see them? So you're just gonna put 1 double crochet in each of those, and then you're just going to join it with a slip stitch to the top of the first chain 3. Now because this is at the very end, I'm recommending for you to finish this off completely at the end. So just trim your yarn and just grab a tapestry needle. So you need to make 22 of these. Your whole Afghan is made up of several different granny squares. So what we want to do is we want to take care of the loose ends now. We're gonna do a join as you go at the end of this when we got all our squares done. So just using your tapestry needle, just drag it up underneath the stitch work. And if you go back and forth a total of 3 times, you can hide it in quite nicely. So you go once and twice. Just stay underneath the stitch work. And just go back a 3rd time, and that's it. So once you woven that in, you're good to go. Just trim your work. And so just make a total of 22 of these, and then join me back next week as we continue our stitch along together. Thank you so much for joining me this week. We'll see you next week as we continue our stitch along together with our friends over at Joann.com. We'll see you again real soon. Bye.